everybody. Welcome back to Horns and Hooves. We are so excited to be here today with our guest, Lauren. So Taylor and Lauren have never met. I'm going to be honest. I've never met Lauren in person. We talk a lot via Messenger, but I've never really met Lauren in person. So I was glad to have her on today. Lauren, tell us where you're from. When did you get started? How did you get started?
So, hello, everybody. It's good to see you guys in person. I am from Northwest Indiana, kind of probably like 45 minutes out of Chicago. And we got started with actual Highland cattle in 2020. I think it was literally just 6 years ago because it was March when our first cattle came to us. So yeah, it's been 6 years. We started with full-size unregistered and have made our way all the way to the mini world. It's been a journey for sure. We're super excited to be on it.
So how many head do you have?
So we currently have, I believe we're up to 9, but that's including calves. We've had to go kind of in and out of numbers on how many we have because of some complications just financially and our home life and everything. So we've had to say goodbye to some and then we get to say hello to new ones. And I think that's tough part of this world. But when they go to good homes, it makes your heart feel a lot better about it.
Right.
Yes, definitely. So when you just said financially, does it have to do with, because I feel like this could be important, does it have to do with how much ground you have and how much you have to feed these Highlands? Some people think they're going to get this cute little calf and they're going to get it home and it's going to eat like a bird, and it's not the case. Is that possibly? I mean, I think that it's a good learning experience for everybody. We learned our feed bill's insane.
Yeah, I think it's a huge learning experience. I mean, to answer your question, yes, that's definitely a huge player in the game when it comes to financial things. Since owning cattle, my husband has been laid off twice, and it was in the same year and a half. So it kind of hit us twice, and it was like, we've got these bigger cows, these smaller cows, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? But one of the amazing things about this, and one of the reasons we got into it, is that you have that investment. So when things do come up and life hits you hard, you've got this investment that you can sell, you can make some money off of it, and you can know that they're going to a good home. And that's the name of the game, but it helps a lot.
That's so true. You know, I'd love looking at it from that point, from that side. Hey, Taylor, I was going to tell you too, she owns the father.
You have Midas.
Is that yours?
Yes.
I have Midas.
Oh, we've talked then. So I also have a daughter to him and semen of his. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yes. We got Midas last year in May, and his first baby should be dropping, I'm hoping, in the next few weeks, but these cows keep me guessing.
That is exciting. Midas is lines. So my bull Maverick is silver non-chondro, main guy in my place. He is dad. And then one of my little chondropositive heifers, she turns 2 here. That's his full sister and daughter.
That's awesome. Oh, that's so
Yeah,
exciting.
he's a nice bull. Really nice calves.
And then I had Shadow.
That's
But
when
before I
thought, oh,
sold
they're so
him-
beautiful.
Before I sold Shadow, I actually got straws off of him. And
Which was smart.
I've been
He's a nice
having
bull, too.
his babies, and his babies are tiny.
Yeah, Maverick packs on the hair too. I imagine Midas is going to pack on the hair too.
I
Yeah,
hope so.
he's a good bull.
I'm excited. It was a journey that we really wanted to go down, but honestly, I didn't want to mess with the chondro positive until I was comfortable. I feel like for me personally, I have to have a level of knowledge, which I'm far from, but I have to have a level of knowledge that makes me feel, okay, I can handle this. I know there's going to be pros and cons, and there are things that may come up, but I feel confident-ish in handling that. So it was 5 years after we first started that I was even like, okay, I think we found the one. It came about. Let's go for it. I think you were one of them that I said, what do you think about this bull? And you were like, yes.
Yeah, I remember reaching out. Yes.
Yeah,
Midas
so it
was a good one.
huge. And my husband's like, if you think so, I'm like, I think so.
He was a good investment. And where he came from, they're such nice people. I love Dean. Dean's a super nice guy. So what are some things that you wished you would have known when you get started?
So I feel like this question comes up a lot, and I think about it a lot because I'm like, go back, like, well, how did you feel in that moment? And to be honest, it's funny because this was my husband's idea 1,000,000%. Not even on my radar. We had chickens, we had goats. Again, not on my radar. I was so suburban. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? You want to farm? So when we first got into this, my husband has big dreams, and then I turn it into an obsession. So that's usually how things come about. So to be fair, we brought them on. I knew nothing, but I quickly dove into researching as much as I could. He's a major like cart before the horse person, and I'm like, oh, I need to know everything first. So these cows show up and I'm like, we have to learn everything. And the number one thing that I wish I had a better grasp on was the knowledge of medicines, what illnesses can come about, what medicines you need to have on hand, even just little things like dewormers. Nothing is scarier to me anyway when an animal gets sick and you don't know what to do and you don't have what you need on hand. Tractor Supply only has so many things. So I'd say if there was something that I wanted to know ahead of time, it would have been that. Among many other things, of course.
How far is your vet away? Do you have a close vet?
When we first started, I didn't know a single large animal vet. And we had an issue come up, and I thankfully knew someone that lives 15, 20 minutes from us. And I messaged him and said, I'm so sorry to bother you. What do I do? And he told me who he uses for a vet. And he said, I have some medicine on hand. You can come by. You can grab it. This is what I would do. And so we have since moved closer to where this vet is, but it's still like a good 20, 25-minute drive. But they're very responsive. They're great.
That's awesome that you have a relationship. You can do that.
Yes, I totally agree. I mean, in the beginning, when you don't have that, you're like, what on earth am I going to do? You need a prescription for everything. It's scary. And you know they can go down fast.
Yeah, I think that is so huge that people don't realize. You don't know, like, if you have them shipped or even if you go and pick those animals that anything can happen. They can get stressed out and then they go downhill and you don't have what you need on hand and you haven't made that connection with a vet. I really think it's something that everybody needs to have is a connection with their vet before they bring in their animals because some of them, Taylor's got that, I don't know, they're so far away for her. It's insane.
Yep.
But to have that on hand, and now you can't get that stuff at Tractor Supply like you used to be able to pick up antibiotics at Tractor Supply. And they put a stop to that, and which is actually good because some people might disagree with that. But our vets went to school for however many years, and they're the professionals. They know what meds to give, and we should be guided by them. I call my vet, and I'll say, did I do this right? And she's like, yeah, good job. But you could do this if it's off hours and stuff. She's probably wishing she never would have given me her phone.
So I'm going to add in there. So another one that goes along with like having a vet is like also having a place to catch your cattle, right? So say you have 10 acres and you put a couple cows on it and then you do get in that situation and you're like, okay, I can't just like necessarily walk up and grab them and give them a shot. You got to have a place to catch them. You got to have something to secure them so you can give that shot or whatever treatment that is. So yeah, those are big ones.
I was going to say that was probably my second, like, biggest thing is, yeah, I mean, you need a head gate of sorts. And that exact moment that I was talking about when I called, his name's Jared. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, Jared Tomic. And I mean, he's fantastic. But when he was like, you're going to have to give this shot. And I'm like, well, how? Excuse me, what? And we had these panels, these gate panels, and we did this like makeshift head gate rope. Like, I mean, it was crazy. My husband's great. He does great with that stuff. But I was like, how? How do you do that? And we got our head gate when we moved to our new property. We're on 20 acres now. We got a head gate like as soon as we moved.
That is huge. I mean, even now we have a setup.
Yeah. And it's actually a maternity.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yep. Something to secure it. I know.
Do you have a setup, you said now?
We started out and didn't have one. I've talked about this before. And then we just had a head gate. But even at that, our chute that we were using left and went to another place. And then my new chute's going to be here. And in that time frame, literally within like 30 minutes, I had a cow that needed a shot and I didn't have my old chute set back up. And I was like, ugh. We had to put 2 halters on her, get her in the tub. Thankfully, we still had that and some panels. And it took us probably an hour at least to get her the shot because her horns are wicked enough that she could really get you. And so trying to secure them, and she was just like, she had got an injury in her eye. And I messed with it the day before. And so she was already like, do not touch me kind of situation. So yeah, it took forever. And having that chute there just to, even if it's not something like really expensive, having something there to secure them is a safety measure for us, right? Because those horns can get you. And then for them, when I'm falling down or busting a leg or something like that. But I've been there having to squeeze them in between 2 panels. It works, but not ideal.
It does. We have invested in a Pinu dart gun.
You were the one that told me about that.
Yes. And it's not ideal in some cases, but say you got a calf out there with pink eye and you're the one that needs to get it in. I can do Drax or whatever in that gun and give it to them. Now, it's not ideal for like LA because they need too much of it, but it's ideal if I'm using Draxon or Nucor or Resflor type thing.
That's on my list to get. I need the gun.
Taylor has a feed store.
Jason has told me numerous times to look into it.
He's also probably saying,
That's fantastic.
do you know how much stuff you've got on my shelves?
Oh my gosh. Like the whole calving thing is like literally I go through and I'm like, okay, what do I need? And then I'm like, oh, they probably need that too. So stock it up just in case.
That's so funny you said that too. I didn't even realize you had a feed store, but that was when we moved to this property, that was kind of one of our goals is like, okay, do we branch out and do a feed store? And it's something we're still talking about heavily. So I think that's really cool to hear that you have it. Someone that you can reach out to and talk to if it comes to fruition.
There you go. Yeah, definitely.
You don't have one in your area because what you can mix for feed is so important too versus just buying bag. It's cheaper to buy bulk.
Oh yeah.
Especially cake. My cows go through way too much. And I know we had Adam on and he's like, don't be feeding them cake or cattle cubes every day. And I'm like, ugh.
Unless it's like in your ration though.
Yeah.
If you're rationing for it and everything else is like all built into that, then you're good. But Sean feeding them like he feeds them for you. She got some fatties.
She must be due pretty quick. Taylor was at my house last weekend and she's like, she's probably due pretty soon. I'm like, yeah, May.
Yeah.
Which can be a bad thing. Laugh about it, but it actually can be a bad thing when it comes to calving. We haven't any troubles with our fat pads exactly. We won't go into what kind of troubles I've had this year right now, but their fat pads can be an issue when they're calving and cause issues. So I have to remind him that sometimes.
Well, typically, I mean, when you got a fat cow getting ready to have a calf, that calf's going to be bigger because your cow's overfed. Typically, that's how it works. Yeah. Think of them. I'm thinking my goats, right? And I'm like, man, that last like trimester, nobody's getting extra grain, nothing. I'm not going to have C-section baby goats because the little goats I have, man, if they have a single and it's big, just plan on a C-section.
Yes.
I can believe that. That's where, I mean, we got the chickens. I think that's just kind of like, oh, chickens, yeah. But the goats were like the next thing. And that was the first farm animal that we got. And they're all fixed. So nobody can breed. But I have the tiniest one that was a bottle baby. And I'm like, it would. Honestly, I can understand that completely.
Yeah, it's scary for how little they're. It's always the pets too. But we just had to do a C-section. And it was my 6-year-old's pet goat that was a bottle baby who was a C-section herself. And produce us the C-section. It's the most expensive weather pygmy you'll ever find running around.
Oh my God. Yeah, keep the pattern going, right?
Yeah.
So when you got into, did you know what size you were looking for? Did it matter to you? Any of that? Going with registered, non-registered, minis, or I should say not mini crossbreeds, like the chondro. You have chondro in. Did you start with chondro?
I wish we would have planned for it better, but I say those things, but you learn so much that it's like, it all happens the way it's meant to in my mind. But no, I think we just wanted them. We found some awesome people that live like, I think they're maybe an hour and a half out from us. They let us come to the farm. We got to visit. We bought male and a female from them and they delivered for us because we didn't have any way of transporting. And the female was pregnant. I don't think it was Fiona and Axel were their names. And I don't think it was Axel's baby. I think she was already bred to another bull of theirs. So we got our start that December. We had our first calf and I was like, it's a winter. I was pregnant. It was crazy. But yeah, they were unregistered. And then my husband kind of started doing more research and we were looking into it. And I'm like, I think if we want to make this a business, registered is going to be the better way to go. So we slowly invested into registered and we got 2 beautiful registered girls from Minnesota. And the Dunn, Summer, she went to live in Kentucky with Brandy and she's amazing. And I'm so glad she has her. We still keep in touch. But Summer was our Dunn. And I think my husband loves her more than me. He misses her every day because we switched to registered. And shortly after, we realized we're only on 7 acres. These cows are freaking big. We need more land or we need smaller cows. And the smaller cows are gaining more momentum. And I mean, to buy a registered bull, which is what we were going to have to do, I'm like, holy cow, like, how are we going to even afford that? So we made the crazy decision to sell those registered girls, their calves that we had. Everyone, I think we had like maybe 5 or 6 cows total at the time on not enough land. And we sold them all off and we bought some minis. The rest is history.
I love the minis.
And I think that's a lot of the reason why people go with or that side of it is because of ground.
They're smaller. Yeah. Smaller acreages.
Yeah.
It works. It financially works on so many other aspects too. If you do have a smaller thing, smaller ground, right? You're not having to pay for so much more hay for those bigger cows too. If they can't just run on that ground, there's a benefit there for sure.
Yeah. I think it just made sense.
Right. And my registered are, I'll show peppers and they get fed like crazy. Like he's got, I don't even know what all he's got on, but I know that my feed bill is expensive. But we have both sides. The registered side is catching up to my non-registered side on size. We bought 200 acres. This will be, what was it? Is it a year ago? Did we just buy that last?
No, I think it's a year ago. It's coming on a year. Yeah.
It's either a year or 2 years. I don't know. We bought another 200 acres.
Amazing.
And this year we get to rent my grandpa's land, which is 300 and some acres. So I told Sean, I'm like, do you know how many cows I can add to go get to put 50 pairs on grandpa's? Because we have another place too that we own, plus a new pasture, plus that. I'm like, ooh.
She's doing the math. How many more can I get?
Yeah. How many? Let's figure this out because that's over 600 acres.
That's
awesome.
insane.
He reminded me that wintertime comes and it costs you a fortune in the winter. So
yeah, that's the hard part with like, there's nothing. Even if you're in like the warmer areas, you're still going to be more on limited grass and everything. And you're just buying hay and it's expensive. And where we're at, you start losing that grass. I mean, come November, you got to start putting out that hay pretty hardcore because the ground is gone until spring.
Same here. We're in Nebraska, so it's both of us are in Nebraska, and we pretty much have ours starting on hay probably in October, actually.
Mine will be on hay probably for a year straight. We haven't had winter, and our ground, they were on it for a couple months in the summer last year, and then we've been supplementing hay, and we just bought a year's worth of hay, just planning on more than likely we're going to be haying them all year, and just our pasture needs a rest, and unless we get rain, we don't have a choice. Like, that's just how it is. But thankfully, they like the hay and they do okay on hay. So that's good.
Right? Yeah, we do the same. Our grass is sparse. So I'm like, we always just have the hay out and then they decide what they want. And
well, can you think of any experiences that we haven't talked about that would be a great learning experience for somebody else?
So I'm kind of going off of what's been recently occurring. We finally had some calves born, and my girl Frankie, this was her second calf this year, and we're real proud of her. She's a great girl, but both of her calves were covered in meconium. And this last one was like the golden calf. And those are things that if you're new, you're just like, what is that? What's yellow? I don't even know. It's like you hear about it, but you're like, why is that?
It's some of them you can't see it on because of their color.
Right. Yeah, if they're not white, which they were, but yeah, when they're dark, you don't even notice. I think like just those issues that can come up with birthing. And then we weren't sure that her milk supply was coming in. We didn't know if it was mastitis. We didn't know if it was just like the milk supply itself, and things like that, I think are so huge. And again, it kind of goes back to like headgate and medicines. Like you have to have a way to contain them. And then once you get them in there, they're like, good luck getting me back in.
Yeah,
So you can't just headgate them every day. They're like, not a chance.
Yeah, we had to trick ours with cake.
Yep. That's the way that we do it. And we trick them, we trap them. I think one of the biggest issues that we've run into is doing all of this with limited help and having kids. And my husband says all the time, what did they do back in the day? Like, we'll be fine. We'll do it. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you're totally right. And I love that mindset. But dang, it's hard. I have a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old. And I'm like, what do you do when like something happens or you have them break out when you're like, oh my goodness, we have to go get him. And you're like, good luck. Babysit your sister. What do you do? And
keeping him inside away from it, because I have had my granddaughter, she's been around cows and stuff, so it's not huge sometimes, but I have had her get freaked out with one for some reason. I can be around him, my husband can be around him, but anything can happen at any time. But if she startles them, then they get startled, and then their reaction is to kind of come after her, and she's screaming or whatever. I mean, this could happen anywhere, but keeping them from running out while you're trying to do what you need to do is, you need a gate. You just need a penned in area for them too.
You do. I mean, I have pictures of them in the craziest places. Like I have my kitchen chair out in the yard with her high chair, and I'm like, stay here. And it's like, you do whatever you can. I put her car seat in our side by side, and I was just like, girlfriend, sit there and scream. I'm so sorry. I got to catch this cow. And you just do it. But those cows stress you out and those kids stress you out, man.
Yes, I did a live on TikTok yesterday because I was just having a day, which I'm going to talk about later on. But yes, I get it. I just have the granddaughter here quite a bit, and then we have 2 others, but they're not here very often.
I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and so with the feed store and the seed store, so my husband's there unless I absolutely need him. He's there running that from 8 to 5, 6 o'clock. So I've gotten really good. I will toot my own horn. I went to school, we'll learn how to AI. I'm not doing that yet. Preg check, and we got a really nice chute that we were using, and I've done it now twice. I have about 45, 50 head. I ran them through, did everything myself with the 2 boys out there. So like I have our like goat pen area, which is like got baby goats in it too, so it's super entertaining. And like there's a little water spot they're just gonna get in. It's gonna happen. I've accepted it. Or this last time when I ran them through when I was ultrasounding, I wanted to get help with like rechecking it. So I was like trying to record on my phone the machine, which was down low because I can't have it up yet because there's no place to hook it. So I'm like ultrasounding, and then my 6-year-old was over there with the first like 2 or 3 he helped me with, and he was like recording it for me so that I could do it. And then eventually he went out to the hayfield and they played, thankfully, forever without the cows. But I get that so much what you're saying on it is hard juggling, like me doing it for the most part by myself out there from 8 to 5 by myself and the boys. Thankfully, the sun is going to be out longer. I keep seeing this where it's like sunset's not till 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yes.
Before it's like dark at 5, I can't like get the help that we need out there.
My son's
I'm so
birthday is
grateful.
Sunday, and it said daylight savings. I'm like, hey, it's a good day.
So
Much
everybody
needed.
knows we pre-record our episodes, so this will probably come out after the time.
Yes.
But the time is changing, and everybody loves it when the time changes.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yes.
I had a crazy one. So we use our skid steer, and the boys are always like locked in the goat pen while I'm in there. And I had the cows locked away, and I'm putting out their bales. And I had a scary one. So I was like driving, and like we loose feed the hay, and I hit a spot, and I had my bale. It was like everything had to have been perfect. I wasn't going super fast, and I didn't have my bale super high, but I had moved it up just enough so I could see, so I didn't hit something. And I hit a bump, and my skid steer just like went whoop. And I thankfully had that bale on, and so the like back end of that skid steer was up off the ground, like leaning on this bale.
God.
My life flashed before me. I was like, okay. And I breathed, and I went through it, and I lowered it down, and thank goodness. But those are things that people overlook in the whole ranching world that can happen.
It's terrifying. And my husband's always trying to get me to like run the tractor, different machinery. And like, it's funny because if he's not home, I'm like the man of the house. I'm like, I got this. If he's there, I'm like, I can't do anything. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. And he's always
My
like,
husband
so
is caught
hard.
on.
Yeah. I'm like,
He's
listen,
caught on.
if you're not here and something needs to get done, I will figure it out. But if you're here, I'm not going to figure it out. I don't want to.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, he can run it when he's there. No thanks, I'll pass. Hard pass. Also, he'd be critiquing my every move with it, so that would drive me bonkers.
That's exactly it. I'm like,
No
I don't even want to
thanks.
do it in front of you because I don't want you to watch me.
Yeah.
It's all sense.
So the truth.
I take too much time, so he's like, get out and hold the gate.
Yeah.
It is what it
Move
is.
faster. What are you doing? Our fencing, we moved into a total fixer-upper, and it's been great and everything, but like the fence, I was like, this is not going to hold anyone. We had to expand the fencing, and we did like a 90-day fence job, just me and him and the kids. And we'd got him out in the stroller every day. And it was all summer. It was sweltering hot. And we rented auger and we're running the tractor. And I'm like, trust me, we almost divorced 500 times. And, I mean, it was all the things. But when we were done, I'm like, we did that. You, me, and these kids that were like driving us insane the whole time. And it was hotter. Oh, last summer was so freaking hot. And I was like, but we did it. And it like gives you that sense of like,
that so awesome?
We got this. We're going to be okay. And it makes up for the days where you're like, we don't got this and it's not okay.
You're not speaking when you get in the car at the end, or you get back in the house and you're like, just don't even, just walk away.
I'm good.
Taylor's dad has to work cattle with us because that's who we call to come help. I don't know how he does it because I'm surprised Sean and I are still married when we're done working.
That's because that's how he is when he's working with like us kids or anybody else. Like he probably laughs at it, but he knows.
He tries to change the subjects and talk about other things and try to get working cattle with your husbands. We should have an episode on that.
I
know.
I
it
agree.
would probably be a great episode.
There's anybody out there that you guys actually get along and have zero problems while you're working cattle? I would love to hear from you.
I don't think it's possible.
I don't think it's possible either. My poor vet, some days I'm like, sorry. And she's like, I hear it all the time. Not a big deal there.
Right? Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Lauren, for being on. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
We got her on like last minute last night.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it was awesome.
Podcast. And she's like, really? And like, yeah.
I'm like, I'd love to, but I don't know that I'm going to give you much.
You know what? I think everybody just likes to hear everybody's stories. I think we see each other on Facebook. I should say we write or type out stuff on Facebook, but it's hard to put a face behind that. And I feel like with our farms too, I have a bio of us like in it, but so many people don't. I'm like, okay, who does this farm? Who actually owns this farm? Who are these people? Because one thing I wish people would do, put a bio of, put their picture and a bio about themselves. Like, who are you? Because you come into these groups with under your farm name and your name. And I'm like, I should know that person. I don't.
I totally agree. I can't tell you how many times I've like messaged a farm and then messaged the person. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't know that was you. Maybe that'll be my next post, is introducing who we actually are. Because I don't think many people even know who I'm linked to farm-wise. But you get your name out there and you grow.
What is your farm name?
We are Marsh Highlands.
Yeah. See,
and we finally picked.
Not even know.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know that you even knew. We are Marsh Highlands, and we finally got a name as of last year.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
I posted in our group a thread that I'm like, we know, who are you? What's your name?
Who are you?
Like, yeah, who are you? Who are these people? And it's mostly, I'm like, the farm names. I'm like, I can never put who's behind what farm on a lot of them. Hey, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week on Horns and Hooves. See you guys.
Bye guys. Thank you.